Happy New Year to everyone. At this time, I would like Legislators Marinetti, Legislator Delahanty, Legislator Stick, and Legislator Flagler Mitchell to please stand. Please raise your right hand. You're about to take the oath of office again. I do solemnly swear that I state your name. Will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Monroe County Legislator. According to the best of my abilities, so help me God. Legislators, you may be seated. Congratulations. The January 13, 2015 meeting of the Monroe County Legislature will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
President Adair.
Here.
Mr. Ansello. Here. Ms. Andrews. Mr. Baroff. Ms. Boyce. Here. Dr. Carbone. Here. Mr. Colby. Here. Mr. Daniele. Here. Mr. Delahanty. Here. Mrs. Draw is excused. Mr. Flagler Mitchell. Here. Mr. Gamble. Here. Mr. Gamina. Here. Mr. Haney. Here. Mr. Howland. Here. Ms. Kaylee. Mr. John Lightfoot, Mr. Willie Lightfoot, Mr. Marionetti, Mr. Michike, Mr. Morelli, Dr. Quattro, Mr. Rocco, Mrs. Stick, Ms. Taylor, Mr. Tucciarello, Mrs. Valerio, Mr. Wilcox, Mr. Yolovich.
Please stay seated at this time. It's a great honor of mine to be able to introduce to you Bishop Emeritus Matthew H. Clark of the Diocese of Rochester, who's been invited here tonight by Legislator Joe Carbone.
Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year to you. May I ask you please to join in a moment of prayer. Loving and gracious God, we ask your blessings on the members of the Monroe County Legislature. Bless their personal hopes and dreams, those whom they love and those whom they serve. Please give them a special concern for the poor and vulnerable members of the Monroe community, those who are cold tonight, who are hungry, who feel forgotten, unwelcomed, or remote from the care of the community. May these members of this legislature be a voice for the voiceless, a beacon for those who thirst for justice and those who need the support and encouragement of their sisters and brothers. Please give these women and men the wisdom to know your will, the courage to act with conviction, and the love to treat others with your own compassion. We praise and thank you for all good gifts, for you are God forever and ever.
Taylor will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Legislator Taylor.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd ask you to please remain standing. Without objection, we will take agenda item number 37 out of the regular agenda order. Agenda item number 37 is moved by Mr. Tucciarello. It is seconded by Ms. Andrews. Will the clerk please read the resolution in memoriam for Mary Loria, the mother of County Clerk Cheryl D'Onofrio?
Expressing regret of the Monroe County Legislature on the recent passing of Mary Loria, mother of Monroe County Clerk Cheryl D'Onofrio. Be it resolved that the Monroe County Legislature hereby expresses its deep sympathy and sorrow at the recent passing of Mary Eileen Loria. The Rochester community was blessed to know Mary and experience her passion for life. And whereas Mary was a long-standing member of the Italian Women's Civics Club and volunteered for a number of club activities, including chairing the annual St. Joseph's Table celebration. She was also active in the St. Mary's Seton group and devoted much of her time to its charitable causes. And whereas Mary's most important legacy can be found in the loved ones she leaves behind. She is survived by her husband of 56 years, Russell, her loving children, Cheryl, Russell, Joette, and Joseph, as well as grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and many other family members. Her greatest joy was found in bringing the entire family together. Throughout her life, she remained focused on encouraging her family to support and care for each other. For Mary, family was not limited to blood relatives, but included her many friends whom she cared for deeply. And whereas Mary served as a model of love, kindness, and strength to which everyone can aspire, her memory is one that will forever touch those who knew her well. She will be greatly missed. Be it further resolved that the clerk of the legislature is hereby requested to forward a copy of this resolution to the bereaved family. This resolution was adopted unanimously, with each legislator rising in his or her place for a moment of silence.
Please be seated. You have received the copies of the Journal of Day 12 of December 9th, 2014. Without exception, that journal is going to stand approved as submitted. There is also a hearing loop in place tonight to assist those who are hearing impaired. Anyone requiring assistance should contact the clerk's office.
If you have a cellular phone, pager, or other electronic devices in your possession, I would request that you make it inaudible for the duration of the meeting. Thank you for your cooperation.
Legislators, the referrals submitted to the legislature for the next cycle are in your folders now. And at this time, it is my privilege and an honor to introduce Mark Quinn of the Monroe County Parks Department, who is going to let us know tonight about the first plant of the month for 2015. Mark?
Good evening. Thank you. The plant of the month this month is cyclamen, one I'm holding in my hand here. It's a beautiful house plant. This plant, there are some native ones, but the ones you'll see in florist shops and grocery stores everywhere right now are not hardy. They're great for the house, however. They'll bloom for a long period of time. They come in some really nice purples and pinks, whites, not particularly fragrant. There are a few fragrant ones, but they're very vibrant. The flower's pretty and lasts a long time, and the leaves and the foliage are very pretty even after the flowers have gone. It's an unusual plant in that it wants to bloom and be in bloom in the winter rather than the summer. These will actually go dormant in the summer. Care for them is the important part. If you put them in the right situation, they'll bloom for weeks and even into months. What they like is a very cool temperature. So this is the ideal plant for somebody like me who turns the heat down in the house a lot, and it'll thrive from 50 to 60 degrees in your house. If you're heating your house to 75 degrees, it probably won't do well. What you want to do is put this in a bright spot, a windowsill, probably on a north-facing or east-facing window. Direct sunlight will probably burn it, but a bright window on the north face is very good. If it doesn't get a draft from the window but stays cool, it's particularly good. If you look at the plant I'm holding, it was much nicer looking an hour ago. When I walked across from the garage, the flowers actually wilted on me with that temperature. They don't like a direct draft, but they do like it cool. The most important part of dealing with the plant, however, is watering. You're going to want to keep the soil semi-moist. You let it dry out a little bit and then get it wet again, but it's important to drain it out. A lot of times what happens is you buy a flower like this, and it'll be in this nice sleeve. Sleeve's waterproof. If you don't take the flower out of the sleeve, water will build up in the bottom and you'll actually drown the plant. More of these plants are lost due to too much water than too little. So what you do is just water it a little bit when the soil feels dry. And again, it likes humidity. None of us have particularly humid environments in the winter. Our houses tend to be dry. It will thrive best with humidity. The best way to get humidity for it would be to actually put it in a little bit of a dish with some stones or something just above it so there's water underneath, but the roots aren't, or the pot isn't actually attached to the water, so it's not actually drawing the water up. The humidity from the water is coming up. That's ideal, but it'll do fine without that. Again, too much water, the leaves, if the leaves start to yellow, you're probably watering it too much. Beautiful plant and very cheap and readily available this time of year. Thank you.
Mark, thank you. And by the way, I want you to know that we keep the chambers here a comfortable 55 degrees at all times.
That's good. It'll like the temperature. I'm not so sure about the light. It tends to be a little dark.
Thank you. This evening we have several proclamations scheduled. Madam Clerk.
Would Valerie Douglas please come forward? Also, County Executive Maggie Brooks, President Jeffrey R. Adair, and Legislator Carla F. Boyce. Whereas the month of January is recognized as Human Trafficking Awareness Month, a global initiative to raise awareness of the terrible acts committed against vulnerable people who are taken and sold into slavery. And whereas human trafficking is an atrocious crime which requires punishment to the fullest extent of the law, the International Labor Organization estimates that over 20 million people are victims of human trafficking worldwide. Within that 20 million, 5 million are exploited children, while 14 million are victims of forced labor. Within the United States, the Department of Justice estimates that over 18,000 people are trafficked into the country every year. And whereas the Center for Youth, since its creation in 1971, has been dedicated to improving the lives of the young people in Monroe County by addressing critical and emerging issues affecting vulnerable adolescents around the world and developing programs that help with the prevention of human trafficking. And whereas addressing the issue of human trafficking requires a collective effort and approach among all stakeholders in our community. In 2013, Monroe County partnered with the Center for Youth to implement Safe Harbor, an anti-trafficking program in our community with involvement from local law enforcement, schools, healthcare providers, and youth service organizations. Safe Harbor utilizes a multidimensional approach to relieving dangerous and sexually exploited situations for youth throughout the provisions of safe housing, case management, and community-wide education and advocacy, among other systems of support. And whereas with the outstanding leadership of organizations like the Center for Youth, the programs and services best suited to meet the needs of victims are readily available. Locally, Safe Harbor has done its part to let our most vulnerable victims know that they are not alone and that the tools and resources are in place to help make our community a safer place for all children and families. Now, therefore, we, Maggie Brooks, County Executive, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, and Carla F. Boyce, Legislator, District 5, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby proclaim the month of January as Human Trafficking Awareness Month in the County of Monroe and encourage all residents to assist in the efforts to bring awareness to the entire community. Congratulations.
I would just say that without the partnership with the county, we wouldn't be able to serve the number of youth we are serving. And in fact, that early partnership right out of the gate allows Monroe County to actually be leading across the state in serving the number of youth, identifying the number of youth, and we're really seen as a model. The other counties that are coming on board in New York State are looking to us, how we collaborate with law enforcement, with county programming like CPS and foster care, and with kind of community-based service organizations that do healthcare and mental health. So thank you so much for allowing us to shine across the state. Thank you.
Would representatives from the Irondequoit Screamin' Eagles Junior Lancers Pee Wee football team please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and legislators Joe Carbone and Joseph Morelli Jr. Whereas the Irondequoit Screamin' Eagles Junior Lancers Pee Wee football team is made up of boys who are 10, 11, and 12 years of age, and some of these boys have been playing together since earliest level of flag football. And whereas they finished the 2014 season undefeated with a 13-0 record, along the way they became Greater Rochester Pop Warner champions and then the New York State Pop Warner champions. Over Thanksgiving weekend, they played in the Eastern Regional Final. The Eastern region is made up of teams from New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C. And whereas, led by captains Caleb Baker, Nate Carter, Jared Fayad, Ian Hay, and Tyler Zilkowski, they defeated the Delmar Wildcats from Delaware 26-8 to become Eastern Regional Pop Warner champions. And whereas Pop Warner is also a Little Scholars program, therefore all the players must maintain a GPA of 80% or higher to play. The Pee Wee team is in the upper 90% GPA. This team is a source of pride for Irondequoit for their achievements on and off the field, and the players will no doubt continue to excel as they grow into young men. Now, therefore, let it be known that we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, Dr. Joe Carbone, Legislator District 16, and Joseph Morelli, Jr., Legislator District 17, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby honor Irondequoit Screamin' Eagles Junior Lancers Pee Wee football team for their dedication to their sport, academics, and community.
I just wanted to say thank you to our parents, our board members, and most importantly, these fine young men right here for allowing my coaching staff and I to coach them in this wonderful game that we call football. And I'm very proud of you guys. I've said it a couple of times already since the game, but I just want to say how proud I am of you guys. And some of you guys that are going to be leaving us, I wish you the best of luck in your lives. And I just wanted to say again, thank you to the legislation and everybody here for acknowledging our hard work and dedication. Thank you.
Would Sarah Johnson Strong of the Northeast Bulldog Cheerleaders please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and legislators Willie Joe Lightfoot, Glenn Gamble, and Ernest Flagler Mitchell. Whereas the Northeast Bulldog Cheerleading Squad is the epitome of dedication, strength, and courage. This team is only 3 years old and has already achieved tremendous success. Both the junior midgets, ages 11 to 13, and midgets, ages 14 through 15, cheer levels won 3rd place in the 2014 National Cheer and Dance Competition at Disney World's Wide World of Sports in Orlando, Florida. And whereas the team is led by Coach Sarah Johnson Strong, who has worked and advocated for young people in the Rochester community for nearly 30 years. Mrs. Strong is a tireless leader whose teachings go far beyond cheerleading. Mrs. Strong focuses on communication, organization, negotiation, and time management, which are all invaluable life skills. And whereas the Northeast Bulldog Cheerleading Squad is a group of hardworking and dedicated young women who have made their community proud, and we look forward to their future success wherever they go. Now, therefore, let it be known that we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, Willie Joe Lightfoot, Assistant Minority Leader, Glenn Gamble, Legislator District 22, and Ernest Flagler Mitchell, Legislator District 29, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize the Northeast Bulldog Cheerleading Squad for their third place finish at the National Cheer and Dance Competition. Congratulations.
Coach, it's your turn. Get on out there.
I got caught off guard. I'm so used to my girls calling me coach and director at the same time. I really appreciate this. This is beautiful. I just really like to allow these young ladies to get acknowledged, and I really thank everyone here for making that happen. And ladies, keep up the good job. It's been a long journey, and we did it, and we came back to make home proud of us. Thank you.
Great job. Back to Orlando next year. We will now recess for the purpose of holding a public hearing. I declare open the public hearing on a local law intro number 452 of 2014 entitled Enacting a Local Law Authorizing the Sale of a Surplus Parcel of Real Property Owned by Monroe County as the trustee for Monroe Community College in the town of Brighton.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
There being none, I declare this public hearing closed and I reconvene the January 13, 2015 meeting of the Monroe County Legislature. You have in your folders the approved minutes from the last cycle. There are no formal committee reports scheduled for this evening. At this time, we will hold the public forum. We have several people registered to address the legislature. Madam Clerk.
If you require assistance, a deputy is available to assist you in approaching the lectern. I will call 2 people forward at one time. Each speaker will have 2 minutes in which to address the legislature, and kindly conclude your remarks when the timer sounds and exit through the back of the chambers. We thank you for your cooperation. Our 2 speakers tonight are Mrs. Louise Morales and Thomas Gregory.
Good evening. Proverbs 31:4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, not for kings to drink wine, nor for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what the law decrees, and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. Give beer to those who are perishing, wine to those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are desolate. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. It's the homeless run over by the top dogs, government, rules, regulations, not ever wanting the coin to flip. But we are going to keep on pushing. We won't stop now. We're going to move up a little higher, inch by inch, some way, somehow. There are people who are fighting for righteousness, who have the strength, and we say, don't make no sense to stop now. Do you think we people darker than blue, the have-nots, are going to just stand around and let what you say and do be just that? We, the fallen, have helped build Rochester. What to be shut out and stuffed out, victims under your rule, where you keep us as far back as you can go, programmed for division. It was you who brought mental illness, homeless, poverty, addiction, and poor, looked upon as useless goods for nothing. Having not shelter, food, health care, clothing, hygiene, and upliftment for us. You are guilty. You stand accused. All of you that do not do the right thing and turn your heads. You are behind us killing each other, gangs and prisons. You lock us up, never a word about the taxpayers' dollars spent to keep us there. As long as the KKs, which now become our government, the blue and white collar Wall Street corporations, police, and dogs, yes, government, the biggest crooks and criminals that ever lived, we're going to take a stand on you mistreating us until the matter is resolved by any means necessary. If we have a voice and it's heard with action, we're killed off as to stay without leaders. Understand this land is our land. This land is your land. God made this land, not man, for you and me to live in. There is a place for us right here in Rochester, in the inner city, the heart of the city. And that's what's legal and what is known as justice. No justice, no peace.
Thank you.
Forgive me if my pronunciation is incorrect, but I believe it would be Salam Alaikum, to which the response would be Alaikum Salam. Always like that when I greet a person of Arab or Islamic ways, is that my peace to you, and the response is your peace to me. And I think it's a wonderful gesture. I'm speaking to the memorialized resolution that you have that's with the bill packet. And like anybody in this room, I don't like the fact that people kill other people. But on the same hand, those radical actions, those choices that individuals make should be completely distinguished from the religion Islam. I don't know how people take their religions and justify their acts. I often think that if you really look at their religions, there's no cause, there's no reason for that. Therefore, I'd ask that the maker of this memorial and the people who've signed it to take out the reference to Islam. It just seems really inappropriate. They call themselves by a name, but they do no good to their religion. I think that as a religious people, our country, we say it in our Pledge of Allegiance, one nation under God, we acknowledge a supreme being. So I think for the most part, we're all kind of believing in God. I think we know that the individuals who made those decisions over there in France didn't do that in the name of God. Salam alaikum.
Thank you.
This concludes the public forum.
At this time, we'll recess the January 13, 2015 meeting of the Monroe County Legislature and convene the Pure Waters Administration Board for the Gates, Chile, Ogden Sewer District, the Irondequoit Bay South Central Pure Waters District, the Northwest Quadrant Pure Waters District, and the Rochester Pure Waters District. If there are no objection, we will adopt 14-0395, 14-0397, 14-0399, and 14-0401 with one vote. The clerk will see to it that individual motions and resolutions numbered are assigned to each district. Clerk will please note the attendance at this time and read the first item on the agenda.
PWeb agenda items 15913, referral 14-0395, authorizing contracts.
Moved by Legislator Michikade, second by Legislator Yolovich. This is the motion to adopt. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
PWeb agenda items 2, 6, 10, and 14, referral 14-0397.
It is moved by Legislator Michikade. It is second by Legislator Yolovich. This is a motion to adopt. At this time, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
PWeb agenda items 3, 7, 11, and 15, referral 14-0399.
Moved by legislator Michikatis, second by legislator Yolovich. This is a motion to adopt. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
P, we have agenda items 4, 8, 12, and 16, referral 14-0401.
It is moved by legislator Michikatis, second by legislator Yolovich. This is the motion to adopt. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
P, we have agenda item 17, referral 14-0403.
Moved by legislator Michikatis, second by legislator Yolovich. This is the motion to adopt. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. We will now recess the Gates Tri-Ogden Sewer District, the Irondequoit Bay South Pure Waters, Central Pure Waters District, the Northwest Quadrant Pure Waters District, and the Rochester Pure Waters District, and we will adjourn the Pure Waters Administration Board at this time. The January 13, 2015 meeting of the Legislature is now reconvened. We will now proceed with the considerations of local laws. Will the clerk please read the first item on the agenda?
Item number 1, referral 14-0369.
It is moved by legislator Rocco, it is second by legislators Valerio and Yolovich. This is a motion to lift from the table. All in favor? Any opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 2, referral 14-0369, providing that local law.
Moved by legislator Rocco, second by legislators Valerio and Yolovich. This is the motion to adopt. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 3, referral 14-0421.
It is moved by legislator Yolovich. It is second by legislator Rocco. This is for introductory purposes only at this time. Next item, please.
Item number 4, referral 14-0421.
Moved by legislator Yolovich, second by legislator Rocco. This is the motion to table. All in favor? Any opposed? That item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 5, referral 14-0421.
Moved by legislator Yolovich, it's second by legislator Rocco. This is the motion to set the public hearing. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? That item carries too. We'll now proceed with the considerations of motions, resolutions, and notices. The clerk will now read the next item on the agenda.
Item number 6, referral 14-0375.
Moved by legislator Valerio, second by legislator Gamina. Is there any discussion at this time? Hearing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Thank you. Next item.
Item number 7, referral 14-0377.
Moved by legislator Ansello. It is second by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item number 8, referral 14-0378.
Moved by legislator Ansello, second by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 9, referral 14-0379.
Moved by legislator Ansello, second by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Item number 10, referral 14-0380.
Moved by legislator Ansello, it is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 11, referral 14-0381.
It is moved by legislator Ansello. It is seconded by legislators Marinetti and Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 12, referral 14-0382.
Moved by legislator Ansello. It is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 13, referral 14-0383.
Moved by legislator Ansel. It is second by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 14, referral 14-0384.
Moved by legislator Ansel. It is second by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 15, referral 14-0385.
Moved by legislator Ansel, second by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 16, referral 14-0386.
Moved by legislator Ansel. It is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 17, referral 14-0387.
Moved by legislator Marinetti. It is seconded by legislators Ansel and Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 18, referral 14-0388. Amending.
Moved by the Honorable Robert Colby, seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Item number 19, referral 14-0389. Accepting.
Moved by legislator Colby, is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Item number 20, referral 14-0390.
Moved by legislator Mitchell. It is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Item number 21, referral 14-0391.
Moved by legislator Mitchell. It is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 22, referral 14-0392.
Moved by legislator Mitchell. It is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Legislator Haney.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I appreciate the information that was provided to us in response to the questions raised at the committee meetings. And indeed, the track record of this program is just more than anything else. Over the last 5-6 years, the annual savings on electricity have grown substantially, while the savings on natural gas, if I'm reading this right, have dropped substantially, and last year were almost insignificant. I was wondering if somebody could provide me with some enlightenment as to why the electricity savings are going up so much and the natural gas savings are dropping.
Through the chair, the natural gas program, we go to market at different times a year in terms of when our advisor determines when it would be most advantageous to do so. And in the years where you see higher savings, our timing of the market, if you will, was better on those occasions than it has been on the years where the savings are less.
Is it being driven by the drop in natural gas prices?
Through the chair, I wouldn't, without speculating too much, I think it's driven by the volatility in those markets changing over time and the fact that they've been less volatile in recent years.
As a follow-up through the chair, with the natural gas savings last year being only $45,000, is it possible under however these are determined that it could flip into a negative position? And
Through the chair, I believe that they're highly unlikely through the history of the program. We have not been in a negative position.
but is it, I mean, with the trend line, is it even mathematically possible to slip into the negative?
Through the chair, anything's mathematically possible,
But highly unlikely.
but highly unlikely, yes, through
Thank
the
you.
chair.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 23, referral 14-0393, authorizing contracts.
Moved by legislator Valerio, it is seconded by legislators Michike and Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 24, referral 14-0394.
Moved by legislator Michike, is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 25, referral 14-0396.
Moved by legislator Michike, is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 26, referral 14-0398.
Moved by legislator Michike, is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Item number 27, referral 14-0400.
Moved by legislator Michike, is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Item number 28, referral 14-0402.
It is moved by legislator Michike, it is seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 29, referral 14-0404.
It is moved by legislator Yolovich. It is seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 30, referral 14-0405.
It is moved by legislator Yolovich. It is seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 31, referral 14-0406.
Moved by legislator Yolovich. It is seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 32, referral 14-0407.
Moved by legislator Yolovich, seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 33, referral 14-0408.
It is moved by legislator Yolovich. It is seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 34, referral 14-0409.
Moved by legislator Yolovich, seconded by legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item, please.
Item number 35, referral 14-0419.
It is moved by legislator Michike, seconded by legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Legislator Haney.
Mr. President, and again, I express my appreciation for the materials that have been provided to us since the committee meeting. Am I correct in understanding that even though this property is not contiguous to the airport, that is, that it's on the other side of Brooks Avenue, that the reason we're acquiring it is because it's in the flight path for that runway that starts just south of Brooks Avenue?
Through the President, that's correct. The property that we're talking about, 1110 Brooks Avenue, is in the runway protection zone for runway 422.
Through the chair, does that mean that we're also going to be acquiring at some point the other properties that are in that zone? There's a diner to the west of this property. There's a motel to the north of it. There's several other properties. Does this mean that we're going to be acquiring all of those properties?
Through the President, as stated in the materials that were provided after the committee meetings, the FAA would encourage control, whether that means by purchase or ownership or easement, but some type of control over any of the land that is in a runway protection zone in accordance with the FAA grant assurances.
Through the chair, if control by easement is acceptable to the FAA, the cost of an easement would be less than the cost of buying the property. Did we pursue the issue of controlling the airspace on this piece of property via easement?
Through the President, no.
Was that a no?
Through the President, no.
Then through the President, I would ask why?
Through the President, the ability to own, control, and use the property that is contiguous with an airport, because the airport is a revenue generator, and the ability for the airport authority to generate revenue from the properties that it owns is a benefit to not only the FAA requirement for the runway protection zone, but it also adds an opportunity to collect revenue, for example, parking, or actually leasing the space, which is a requirement of our grant assurances. Any property that is owned by the airport, that if we are to put it into use, that becomes non-aeronautical revenue, which then goes back to the authority, and therefore the rates and charges that the airlines pay to use the airport go down.
So through the chair, what is our intent for the property? Are we going to turn it into a parking lot?
Through the President, the authority has contemplated various uses. It can be used for parking. It can be used as it was as retail space. We've explored those options. Whichever maximizes the benefit to the airport authority, as I said, to increase any non-aeronautical revenue, given whatever opportunities are out there, that would be the goal, is to increase non-aeronautical revenue while protecting the runway protection zone.
And through the chair, would it be possible to have those future plans for that property and the adjoining property shared with us as legislators?
Through the President, any future use for that property would be brought before the Monroe County Airport Authority for action, and the answer would be yes.
Mr. President, I'm afraid we're starting down a slippery slope here that we really don't know what's at the end of it. the reasoning for the purchase of this property implies that we're going to want to buy a lot of other property that's on the north side of Brooks Avenue, and which is also in the flight path. I mean, we're starting with a $500,000 purchase tonight. We're starting down a path that potentially has a price tag of millions of dollars when you think of all the property that is in that flight path. This may indeed be a good idea, but I think that we would need to have some serious discussion before we start down this slippery slope. And especially with the information just learned that the FBI or the FAA would be satisfied if we merely controlled the airspace by easement as opposed to fee title ownership of the property. And easements would certainly be a lot cheaper than actually purchasing title to the property, which takes the property off the tax rolls. I just think we're starting down a slope here that I don't know where the end of it is, and therefore I'm going to vote against this.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion at this time? Seeing none, I'll move to a roll call vote.
Mr. Tucciarello? Ms. Andrews? Mr. Ansello? Mr. Baroth? Ms. Boyce? Dr. Carbone? Mr. Colby? Mr. Daniele? Mr. Delahanty? Mrs. Draw is excused. Mr. Flagler Mitchell? Mr. Gamble? Mr. Gamina? Mr. Haney? Mr. Howland? Ms. Cayley? Mr. John Lightfoot? Thank you. Mr. Willie Lightfoot? Mr. Marionetti? Mr. Michike? Mr. Morelli? Dr. Quattro? Mr. Rocco? Mrs. Stick? Ms. Taylor? Mrs. Valerio? Mr. Wilcox? Mr. Yolovich? President Adair?
Yes.
24-4, resolution passes.
Next item, please.
Item number 36, referral 14-0420.
Moved by Legislator Yolovich, second by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Item number 38, referral 15-0044.
Moved by Legislator Yolovich, second by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. Next item.
Item number 39, referral 15-0045.
Moved by Legislator Yolovich, second by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Legislator Cayley.
President, my first question, looking at the dates on this for the terms, would be through you to the administration. Why is this a matter of urgency?
Through you, Mr. President, the referral is before you tonight because this is the beginning of the legislative session and the opening of the window for consideration of the governor and confirmation of the Senate, and so that they may act in as expedient a fashion as possible.
Thank you. And then through the President, these terms end on July 31st, all of them. When do they start? Excuse me, let me rephrase that. If the first term is ending on July 31st, 2016. Do they start on June 30th?
Those appointments will start as soon as the governor makes the decision on who they're going to appoint, yes.
Okay,
Through you,
thank
Mr. President, upon the confirmation of the Senate.
Thank you for correction, you're right.
Thank you. So it sort of answers the question. However, are any of these currently vacant or have been vacant for any length of time through the president? To the president, yeah. Sorry. To you. Sorry.
Could be to me, yes,
I
that's
know.
true. Believe at, well, I thought it was two.
Through you, Mr. President, one is currently vacant.
Okay.
Thank you. And then, Mr. President, could I ask who are the members that are going to be not returning and may have left the current opening?
You can answer that question, and I will refer that to the administration. These are the people that expressed interest in me in serving on this board. No one else, other than the people that are on here, expressed any interest. So if there was, you can answer that.
I'm not sure that I phrased the question
There's some
correctly.
terms that are expiring, and we're doing what we're supposed to do here. I don't think there's any more than that to it.
Pardon? Then could I ask, Mr. President, who is not returning that's currently on the board?
Not,
Through you, Mr. President, 3 current board members have expired terms. The individual who is being submitted for reappointment is Robert Fisher.
Thank you. Mr. President, is it possible to find out before this, other than Mr. Fisher, who is not going to be who is not seeking reappointment? I think I'm asking for who is going off.
Through you, Mr. President, that would be Jim Redman and Stephen Carl.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Thank you for the assistance on that. Is there any other discussion at this time? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? I'm sorry, I already started the vote and I didn't see your hand up. You know what? It's a new year. I did look, though, legislative life, but I really did. I started the vote. I really can't reverse now. I know, and sometimes it's very hard to be that way, too, you know. Okay, thank you very much. Is this a quick question? Now, is it going to reverse all my votes that I just got? What? Everybody said yes, except you. I must have had your hand raised. Okay, please, quickly. This is very unorthodox for me to do this.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure I understood correctly that the members who aren't being reappointed didn't express interest to you, and that was the rationale for them not being
They express
recommended?
correct. They express no interest to me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I am in a position of, yeah, I'm in big trouble here. Okay. All right. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. Opposed? The item carries. Thank you. Next item, please.
Item number 40, referral 15-0046.
It is moved by Legislator Yolovich. It is seconded by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. There being no unfinished business tonight, Legislator Tucciarello.
Yes, Mr. President. We stand adjourned until 6 p.m. Tuesday, February 10th, 2015. Thank you all.